Welcome back to the Purple Political Breakdown podcast show, whatever you want to call it. And today I'm doing a reaction. In today's live stream, this is going to be a video, of course, but in my live stream, I plan to do a podcast episode with someone. It's probably going to be all audio, but I'll be doing it live here. And then I'm not going to save it, but if I get any good clips, I may kind of post that, of course. But with that said, today I'm going to be reacting to a few things for today's show, per usual, and this should be very interesting. So the delusion in this girl was next level crazy. Valuetainment, a lot of great content. I mean, you saw the stuff with MLD, right? And today we're about to see stuff with Uncle Ruckus. So let's dive right into it.
That you guys' reality is the real reality out of this Miami City and the podcast itself.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't think the advice that you guys are giving is, or some advice is good. Some advice like getting your shit together, like getting a job, working hard. Guys are giving is.
I remember her from. Oh damn it! Come on. She was on that one Jubilee video, I believe, and she was like advocating for like, anti-feminism. I don't really know, but I remember her.
Advice that you guys are giving is, or some advice is good. Some advice like getting your shit together, like getting a job, working hard, working out. Those things are great, but when it comes to relationship advice, I don't agree.
Okay, what do you disagree with specifically?
What I disagree with specifically, I don't think that trying to build up men by very, very shallow things like getting money or having that car or having this sort of image.
But you just said a second ago that building yourself up is good.
Yeah, it is for yourself, but not for just attracting other people out there. Because in that case, let's say that you lose all those things, there's just no way that your partner in that case is going to stay with you. She should be with you for you and your interest. And
Melina, if you're married to Destiny, shout out to Destiny. If Destiny was broke and 300 pounds, would you be in love with him and married him?
I would be in love with him, yes.
Bullshit.
I mean, you could say that.
Okay. I'm biased against Uncle Ruckus, but not for Melina, but more I watch Destiny, so I know who he is. I kind of agree with like some things he says. So, with that said, I think it is fair to say that more than likely Melina would not be with Destiny if he wasn't, wealthy and put together. But I think something you need to take into account is that sure, Destiny was lucky, but what put him in the space that he's at was his mindset, was his work ethic. So in that situation, you would have to take out the key characteristics that not only make him attractive to Melina, but also make him, so wealthy or so driven in the first place. If you take those characteristics out, then you won't be the same person. But at the same time, it's also disingenuous to say that you probably would still stay with him. It's not that.
Stop.
But I mean, I'm being honest. No, I'm fully honest with you.
I'm not saying
yes.
that if he lost his money now and something happened to him now, you'd stick by your man. Respect, right?
Yes, yeah. Because I love him for the things that's not the shallow things. And that's what I think you guys should. I think you guys should try to build up people in that way. Yeah?
If you met Destiny and he was 300 pounds and he had 0 subscribers on YouTube and he's like, I'm going to be a gamer, you would have not given him a second chance.
Of course I would. Because there are.
I think that, yeah, this is a little disingenuous. I mean, this is one of those situations where, SOS. I feel like she already knows Destiny, so she already loves everything about him. But there's steps to relationship, and the initial step to get the person's attention, he wouldn't.
There are things. I like him for his opinions.
So does intelligence pay the bills? Intelligence and his heart?
Because it's you, it's the personality.
But that's what pays the bills.
It's not your money.
So if you're homeless and you have no car and no house, nothing to feed the kids, I don't know if you have any.
All right, I'm going to skip past this part.
Yeah, because
yes, I do agree with those.
The thing that women never want to admit is that, and I've said this a million times, all girls are gold diggers, some are just better at hiding the shovel. Yep. And what I mean by that, right, is you got the girl that says, I want ambition, or I want drive, blah, 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 which is code term for the ability to procure resources for a later time for me. Or there's some girls that are overt about
Yeah, that's not true at all. I mean, for the most part, when you think about like the women that Uncle Ruckus wants to get to know, of course he wants to get those, Miami girls, as they say. And those Miami girls are more than likely probably going to be uh, expecting a certain type of lavish lifestyle. So if you attract those type of girls, of course they're going to be what he said. But that's a selection. We knows, I'm sure he knows, so many couples and relationships where that is not the case. It can be the case. Sometimes it is the case. But to kind of create a whole entire umbrella of all girls are either gold diggers or hiding that they're the gold diggers is one of the most disingenuous things you will ever hear. That makes no sense. It's like saying all black people are criminals or hiding that they're criminals. It's a stupid remark. You're using one of the worst stereotypes, one of the worst characteristics of a negative feature of a negative type of or a non or a person that fits a negative archetype, and you're using that worst feature and creating a brush that expands to all of that type of person, all women, for example. So it's a stupid thing to say. It's absolutely idiotic, and it's just his fault that he only attracts Miami girls.
About it. I got a big shovel. I need a guy that's a millionaire, etc. Because I make money or I deserve it. So yes, you can sit here and say I like him for him, but the thing is this: women typically just end at 10, but they don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The man has to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because he's not going to get to 10 and even be seen unless he has certain prerequisites. Only women are loved under the condition that they provide no value. Men must provide value.
Only women are loved when they provide no value. That's not true either. How many people go into a relationship with a woman who has no value? That doesn't happen. It's either the woman provides the same or more financial value, or she provides at home value, whether it's cooking, cleaning, emotional support. To say that she provides no value is absolutely ridiculous. I feel like a statement that's more logical to make if I were to go down this stupid line of thinking is kids provide no value. If you had kids, they're not going to provide any value other than utmost joy and happiness. But obviously, you're not going to throw your kids out. But that would at least be a lot more logical to say that a woman that you get together with has no value. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't.
That's just how it is.
I
I'm
think
not
that's how it
surprised.
is in Miami, yes.
Uncle
And like
Ruckus.
cities like this,
Okay.
It's not just
that
in
Here's the
outside
thing.
of it-
Okay, you know what?
I
Let's go with
probably
that.
lived in more
Let's-
countries and cities
let's go
than
with
most
that.
of you guys. So
Miami-
I have a lot of
So here in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
it's celebrated to have a big shovel and be overt about it. Okay? Maybe I go to Nebraska, whatever, and they have smaller shovels, but it does not change the fact that women still
I don't
want a
think
man
that's true.
that can provide
like
resources.
People are dating within their area, job.
Okay,
That's
how
what
about
they
this?
do.
Traditionally, I do think you can say that women want a man that provides resources, but that can be one prong of the things they want in a man, right? Especially when the expectation is he's going to be the provider. So, of course, one of the things that he's going to have is be someone who can provide resources. And there's a lot of men who want to take that responsibility anyway. That's not all women. Not all women want that or care about that. But there's probably a good number of women that do. Again, providing an unnecessary
School.
I've
umbrella.
lived all
Ladies,
over the world.
ladies,
It's
real
this
quick.
Shit everywhere.
How important is it for your man to actually not only just be financially stable, to be successful and have money? Go ahead.
For me, it's
Do
important.
not go on a
for sure.
diatribe. Just give the answer, please.
It's
How
important,
important?
but how you say is not the only thing that attracts to me.
Okay.
You know.
So,
But the key here
Yeah.
is that they're not even going to give him a chance. There's plenty of smart, cool homeless guys out there.
No.
That's so disingenuous. Uncle Ruckus, you're making a bad argument. You're going to the extreme. What? Nobody's going to get with a homeless person. That's ridiculous. Not even you. Well, I mean, you might fuck a homeless girl. I can't.
They're
Homeless,
invisible.
Think about that,
So it's
no
like,
homeless, but
Exactly.
not
Like,
have to be
what-
rich like you. Can be a normal guy.
okay.
you'll date a normal guy?
Yeah.
Miss Entrepreneur?
Yeah.
5'8",
Yeah,
50,
he's a normal guy.
37 to 50K
He's
per
not
year?
rich like you.
How
and
about
I can
this?
date him.
Would any of you ladies?
Wait, so you'll date a guy that makes less money than you?
Say it again.
You'll date a guy that makes less money than you and has lower status than you.
We are the same.
No.
Okay. Would any of you ladies date a guy who makes significantly less than you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You would.
No.
I mean, I have.
You
but
would not?
he's Really tall and
Would
had
you?
a huge
Hold
dick,
on. Would
so.
you?
No.
Would you?
As long as he can protect and provide.
I mean, the standard of significantly less needs to be established. Like, if you're a girl and let's put it, the average is like, right, 30 to 40,000, 30 to 50,000 maybe. If he's making significantly less and you're making 40,000, significantly less to me is 20,000. I mean, that's not moving the needle. I mean, it depends on the job you're having, right? Like, if all he's gonna do for the rest of his life at work is work at a job for $20,000, I mean, that's not ambitious, right? So you have to kind of lay out what you're talking about. You're being vague on purpose to do a gotcha, but it's not moving the needle.
Provide and I can support him, then the money doesn't matter as much. However, with that, typically to protect and provide, you need to make a certain amount.
Okay.
Correct.
Janelle, would you?
I mean, I have, like I said, but he was 6'8" with a huge dick, and so there's an exception.
All right.
I mean, but I'm going to tell you
Yeah.
honestly, if he was not 6'8"
Voted
and
on.
didn't have the biggest dick ever, I would say no, thank you, sir. You need to have some money and be successful.
And you also got to remember, no disrespect,
That's
she's a
her
little bit
standard.
older. So when
Yes.
you're older as a woman, you have to make concessions on
less
what you're
options.
demanding.
Gotcha.
You can't demand as much as you get older.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately for
You gotta
women.
work with what
Fair
So
enough.
You can't demand as much as you get older. There might be some truth to that. I'm willing to give Uncle Ruckus that.
I get what you're saying. You're saying
The demands
not all women are
change.
like that, blah blah blah. But the reality is,
Majority.
I
all
think
women are
there,
attracted
I think there's
to
better things
more
to come.
status,
There's
more
better
money,
advice. I think
more
there's
Well,
better
that's
advice.
not
So,
true.
so you're
He's just
saying,
talking
for
out of
example,
that.
Destiny, not the fame, not the cars, it's the identity of who he is as
Yes,
a man.
his passions, his personality.
But would
his
you admit
intelligence.
as well
We
that
can talk
to
about
get
it.
to that level,
The
you
chemistry,
need to
yeah.
work on yourself as a man? So
What
his
do you say?
identity that you love, right? He had to work on it as a man.
Or like the chemistry we have, the intelligence that he has, the passions, the humor, all of those things. Not like
Right.
how much money he's making. I don't care about that.
But those
Yeah,
things
yeah,
are really
but it does play a part, though.
and hard work. That's what
Yeah, I mean, I think she's trying to separate the superficial stuff with the character stuff. I do think Fresh is actually making a point here in the sense that what made him who he is what you love. So, I mean, I think there's a middle ground to be found here.
I was gonna say. There's a difference between a guy who was like became a millionaire from inheriting it, or maybe he was just like a rich boy, versus someone who worked for it. Because those character traits they needed to exemplify in order to get that is someone who's a real
Exactly.
man. Like
She's
that's why that
spitting.
is
That's
attractive.
exactly what we're talking about.
Grammarly Business features the same premium writing suggestions millions of individuals know and
Grammarly stayed on one.
Someone,
Are they gonna keep on
it
asking
doesn't
the
mean that
same
you need to
question
make
about her?
millions. Like, it doesn't mean that at all.
Okay.
Just
There's
like if you have a
definitely- the
passion,
reality is you
and
left
have-
don't care. Like, you're beating a dead horse. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say regarding that. I mean, there's really nothing else for me to kind of see in referencing this. Uncle Ruckus made one decent point, but he's wrong per usual. And they're way too obsessed with Destiny and Melina's relationship. But I do think that Melina needs to give a little bit of wiggle room. You're being a little defensive. That there are things like, I think what Fresh and the girl in the blue said was right on the money, or kind of what Fresh said, and definitely what the girl in the blue said. So I'm gonna wrap that up there. This is my thumbnail face. There we go.